Welcome to another amazing episode of Mixtape Queens Podcast. And today we have a very beautiful, very special guest, Miss Elle Baez. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
You see the queen glowing.
Stop it. You're being too nice. I have two queens before me as well. All the queens in the Zoom.
Period.
Yes.
That part. I
Yeah.
won't deny it.
We're all about queens, supporting queens.
Absolutely.
Yes. We gotta support fellow queens. Love it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. So we're curious because we've been watching you, following your page, loving on you, of course. We're curious to know a little bit more about like your background and how you even found your way to being a music artist.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's definitely been a journey, but I've always known that I've wanted to sing like my entire life. And I was always writing songs as a little girl too. I think like you don't think you can really be an artist, like an independent artist. Um, at least I had no clue that that was a thing that existed for so long, and I thought you like needed a record deal to be able to make music and put yourself out there. Um, but I grew up doing a lot of theater, and that was kind of like what I thought I was going to do for so long. I was like, I'm going to be on Broadway, and like little me was like envisioning all of that. But I did find the theater space. I mean, performance world in general is a very toxic place. So you deal with a lot of fat phobia, a lot of racism, a lot of body shaming, a lot of things that like I did not think were gonna happen. When you think of like Broadway, you think it's like happy thing, but it's like very sad. The the realness that is behind those closed doors. Um, and I just felt like I was being put in a box for so long when I was in college, and I was really, really done with it. And I was like, I just want to sing. And I met some people at the Clive Davis Music Institute. I went to NYU, so I was like doing theater, and I sang some background vocals, and they were like, "Girl, you should just be an artist." And I was like, "Oh my God, I can do that?" Like, yeah, I was like, "Okay, like, screw it." And I started recording my own songs, and then I feel like I finally found like what my purpose was in this world, and I've been doing it since. So, yeah, it's been a
That's what's
journey.
up. That's
Wow.
so freaking cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you were trained to do like, was it like opera or Broadway singing?
So yeah, I was actually trained first. Okay, well, I would say I was trained in like theater when I was a kid. Then in high school, I actually studied opera. So I was doing like full on classical. I thought I was going to become an opera singer. And then in college, I studied musical theater. So that's like singing, dancing, acting. So I was like doing all three. And then but like honestly, like growing up as a little girl, my favorite thing to sing was like pop, R&B, soul. Like that was like what like gave me life. So to be able to like do that now and like find like what really I love to sing the most is really great.
Oh, I love that for
Yeah.
you.
And who were those people that were like, you should be a singer? Like, thank God for
Yeah.
them, because
Shout out to them.
yeah, shout out to them.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like like until someone says it, I sometimes you don't like think about it, and I'm blessed to like have had all those things happen to me, and I feel like all meant to be. Like there's a path and a reason. So yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
for sure. That's a blessing.
So let's dive a little bit deeper into that because I know you said you started making your own music, but like when did you first have a moment of like, oh, I can write, like I can write my music.
yeah.
Like I'm a writer. Because I know that takes
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, your
to
songs are
craft. Like they're
amazing.
awesome. Like we're like, what the hell?
Yeah,
This is cool.
it's powerful.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. I've been writing, like I said, when I was little, but like I don't think I really like understood that I was doing that. I don't know, like I would write full-length musicals, like full on, like 6 songs. My cousins would come over for the holidays and we put on a whole show and I'd like cast them, and I don't know, my brain was already concocting crazy things at like the age of 8. And I think my parents were kind of like, okay. Um, and I had written songs a lot throughout, I would say, high school and college, and they were all in my phone. But honestly, I don't think that I thought that I was good enough. I think that I always thought, oh, I'm not a songwriter, I'm a singer, like in my brain, because everyone tells you like you have to have that one thing. And I remember I was singing other people's songs at first when I was first trying to become an artist. And then I had a song given to me and I was like, oh, I think this can be a little better. And I started like reworking things and I wrote like the bridge for it. And the person I was writing with was like, oh my God, like that's really good. Like you could really write. And I was like, oh, like really? Like I know I could write, but I never had that confidence. And then I wrote a song one summer about a boy. I write a lot about a lot of boys, called Your Lips, and I had it in my phone, and it was like that one song that I was like, I need to get this song done. Like, I don't know how, but I'm gonna do it. And I brought it to my producer at the time, and I was so scared because I'd never like shown somebody something that I've written myself, like alone, to like produce before. And his reaction was so good, and he was like, oh my God, this is amazing, and like went and did everything. And then after that I was like, oh my God, I got over that hurdle. And then I just started pulling out like everything I had written in my phone, showing it to like anybody I could. And I found a new producer too who like really understood me, and a woman, she's amazing. um and yeah, it took me like taking the guts to show somebody something I've written and like think that I could actually like release it to the world. And now I love it. Now I'm just writing songs. Like I have 8 million songs on my phone. So like writing
Right.
is my favorite thing, actually, I feel like. Yeah.
Right. So you're not just a singer or performer, you're a major songwriter. You write a
Mhm.
lot of songs for other people too.
Yeah, so I actually I had a co-write for my friend Scarlett, who's an artist, Scarlett Park, and her song called 369 that we wrote together. It's a manifestation song that was featured by the Grammys. So she got to do like a whole spotlight of the song, and that was my first time like the Grammys recognized my songwriting, which was really, really cool.
That's so
Oh, that's
cool.
freaking awesome. Like, I mean, I'm gonna have to just dive a little bit deeper into that. So when it comes to working and when it comes to writing, especially in the industry that we're in, the music industry, how does that work when you are wanting to write music for other artists and you feel like, oh, this is a great match for that person? How does someone that is an aspiring writer get that out there?
Yeah. So I would say it's really hard when you are starting out as a writer and you have songs that you're like, oh my God, like I know this would be great for Selena Gomez. I actually have a lot of songs that'd be great for Selena Gomez, but like whenever I write something, unless I'm like, oh, I know this is mine, like I'm writing this for me, I'll usually have like an artist in mind or like envisioned or a genre world. Um, and it is like trying to get those songs to those artists, which is really difficult. But what I have loved is like my friend Scarlett, like finding other artists that are on similar levels to me that are open to like hearing what I have, or doing a co-write and just kind of going in blind with each other and just seeing what comes out of the session. And that's what happened with that song. We went into the session. She was having like the best day of her life and was like manifesting all of her dreams. And I was like, we need to write a manifestation song. And then it was just like born. So I also like love hearing what other artists are going through and then like taking it and helping craft songs with them in the room. Like I love being in the room and just like seeing the magic that comes out.
Yes.
Okay, I like
That's a
that.
Yeah,
great way to
yeah,
describe it,
Yeah,
magic.
it is.
yeah,
Yeah,
really.
because Amanda writes a lot, and
Oh my
I
God.
write too, but I'm more of a freestyle because we freestyle a lot. But there's something spiritual when she's in her zone and it's just like a flow state and it's coming to her natural. I
Mm,
think that's such a divine gift.
yeah.
And it has so much healing power, right?
Yeah, because I believe it's like really a channeled message. Like it's being brought to you to share with the world, and every little thing, like there's a reason that you were chosen to like to say it and give it to the world. So I love that. I love that you both write too. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of my favorite things to do. I kind of knew when I was real young that I wanted to be a writer, but I let like the world shut me out from it. So I'm just now really starting to craft it. And just in the short like amount of like 4 years, I'm getting pretty solid at what I'm doing.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I remember writing as a kid and like thinking, this is crap. If anyone finds this, they're gonna and I saved everything. So I look back and it's really funny. It's really cute. Like it's cute because I had like a lot of words and it's good to look back and even like recreate some of that stuff, like update it.
Yeah.
Not even just
Probably,
that. I think. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's like there's probably like gems in there, like things you can put.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
So do you have a bunch of notebooks?
Yeah.
All the pages full.
Yeah, I probably have, honestly, I would say I actually only have maybe like 5 songbooks, but they're like full of stuff. And then my phone's like the starter. So like I'll record, things will just come to me throughout the day. It's like very odd. I don't know. Maybe this is normal. I don't know. I'll probably get like 3 to 5 channeled like song messages a day, and then I'll like take them, just like record it. And then depending, I'll like usually label them. So like I'll be like this was a recent one, good Olivia Rodrigo vibe breakup song, or like then I'll be like melody pretty pop calm or whatever, soulful R&B vintage for me. Like I'll say like it's for me or for someone else. And then depending if I have like something I have to write towards, I'll go back and like search my voice memos for like those words that I know I need. And then I'll like sit down and I'll flesh out the whole song. Or depending if it's like really good and it comes to me, I will like sit down in that moment and just write the whole song. So it varies, but yeah, the ones in the books are like the best ones. Those are the ones that like I took the time to write.
Yeah.
See, that's what happened. That's what's been happening like lately. Like this year, I think has been my most productive writing year because I've been able to like sit down and finish an entire song in like one setting. And it's pretty interesting because the year before I would like write some and then I'd be like, forget it. I'm just gonna freestyle the rest of it because I can't think of anything.
She's writing my songs now too. I'm like, write a song for me.
Yeah. So I'm like writing a verse for her and I'm writing a verse for me. And I'm like, damn, I don't know which one I like better. I don't know if I should switch your part with my part or what part with this part. It's pretty interesting, but I do love the process.
It's like therapy.
It's definitely healing.
Yeah, it's always therapy. Like sometimes I'll make myself write too if it's something that I'm like, oh, I'm really just not feeling good. Let me just write about it. Let me just get it out. And even if I don't use it, at least I got it off my chest.
Right. Well, your messages are so powerful and you're reaching a lot of people. How is the feedback like when people tell you this song, really helped me and stuff like that?
Yeah. I feel like a lot of times it can be really hard, and you guys know when you're an artist and you're pushing and putting out your music and going, and honestly that's what keeps me going is when I get that like DM. I get a little emotional, like that DM from somebody and they're just like, oh my God, like your song has encouraged me to like wear a bathing suit, or your song has encouraged me to love myself and go out into the world unafraid and like follow my passion or anything like that. When those come in, it is just like life-changing, and it means so much to me to know that like my music can help somebody like that, because I write it in the hopes that it'll reach people that it really needs, and when it finds those people, I'm like, oh, like thank you. So yeah, getting those messages is my soul. That's my
Yeah, that's everything.
I can only imagine like just seeing that it's making a difference. It just changes your entire perspective on your actual artistry. So
and you know, there's like, that's the reason that we do what we do. That's why we are such huge supporters, especially of our queens. And, you know, just there's so many talented people out there nowadays. It's just a beautiful thing. And, you know,
Yeah.
there's a type of music for everybody. And it's really special. The state of the current music industry is, you know, you can have any genre. You know,
Yeah.
it used to be just like one way. It'd be a lot of record labels trying to cookie cutter stuff, and now everybody can be themselves, and that's the best
Yeah.
part.
No,
Yeah.
most definitely. I feel like that's been something too, like as an artist, like it is really cool to be indie and just put out whatever you want. I'm gonna put out this song, like I love this one, and that's kind of what I do, and I'm like jumping all over, and I just love writing songs, and the ones I put out are the ones I love like the absolute most, and the ones that like really feel like represent me. So, um, if it's a disco bop, if it's a R&B ballad, if it's a Latin dance song, like
Mhm.
I'm like, let me do whatever I feel like, and I'm grateful that I'm able to do that for now. We'll see.
Yes.
Big on the versatility.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's such a blessing.
I
Yeah,
love that for you. I love that for you. I think a lot of artists could learn from that way of being creative,
Mhm.
is to not box yourself in.
hmm,
Um, hell, even when you're getting signed by somebody, you better tell them, don't box me in. I like a little
yeah,
everything. Don't box me in the corner.
Mhm.
So I think
yeah,
that is a very beautiful thing. So I want to run it back a little bit
yeah.
to you being young, you being at home, you being in school. What were some of the influences that you grew up on musically who just sparked that in you to say, holy, well, that's, I like that. I want to do that, you know?
Yeah. So I grew up in a household that was very musical because my dad was a DJ in the 70s in New York City. So,
He was turning up. I
yeah,
get
my parents met at the club. They would like do disco competitions. Like they
Oh my
were,
God.
so I grew up hearing like 70s disco everywhere. And then jazz, like jazz was always playing in my house. And then it was like Latin music all the time, like merengue, like all of that was playing, especially at my family parties. Like that was the music. And then it was like obviously I'm hearing the radio, so like hearing all these things influencing me at once. And I gotta say, like what always hit me were like big, passionate, soulful vocals. So like Whitney Houston, like Mariah Carey. That was when I heard those voices, Beyonce, like my brain was like, oh, like that's what I want to do. And it like pushed me to like get my voice to train to be able to do those things. And I remember my voice actually before I really trained it, like I had a good voice, but it wasn't as octave dynamic. And like I was able to really expand my voice when I studied classically. And that's something that I'm really grateful for because little me had a little like raspy, like maybe one octave. And then I was like, no, we need to hit everything. Like I want to do what they do. Um, and then like I started to love Christina Aguilera and Kelly Clarkson and Demi Lovato. That was when those artists started coming through. I was like, oh my God, yes. And I've just been a sucker for a big, passionate vocal. Yeah. With that
Mhm.
soul. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yes.
awesome.
Shout out to the voices, the big voices. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Powerhouse. Let's get it.
Yes. And that
Yeah.
gives us hope because we're trying to learn how to sing. You know, we sing a little bit.
My voice is loud.
Mm.
So I'm trying to figure out how to control the
Yeah.
range of loudness and how to like control those octaves. Because I've never been able to read music. I don't read music. I do listen to songs and try to like catch the flow of them, but I realize that my voice is not everybody else's voice. And
Hmm.
I do have a louder one. It projects more,
We're
you
ready to
know.
Yeah.
start
And so
training.
I'm ready to like
Vocal boot
Okay,
camp.
now I need vocal boot camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's helpful to like sing along to other artists. I did like my whole life. I would just like play the album and just sing through the whole album and like try to get my voice to do what theirs is doing. But then I reached the point where I was like, I think my voice teacher was like, you also need to like be your own voice and not try to just like emulate Demi Lovato and Ariana Grande and like copy their vocals. And I was like, oh yeah, like okay. And then I started to be like, yeah, I can just like do my own thing, and it doesn't have to be. It's a mixture of all of my influences, but it's still my voice and what suits it the best. So that's always important to keep in mind too.
Yep,
Right.
that's true. I
Yes.
love that answer because
We're
Yeah.
hopeful.
I'm hopeful
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, yeah, you're gonna get your own version of it. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
So do you play any instruments?
So I play a little bit of piano and guitar now. I mainly use piano to write with. Um, I have sung and played piano maybe like that's kind of like the thing that maybe is like my next hurdle because I've done it live, I think 3 or 4 times now, and it's so scary to me. Like I'm like, oh my God, like I'm playing while I'm singing, and it's a new territory for me to push through. I've played guitar and sung live maybe like 3 times too, but that guitar's even harder for me. So, um, but I'll usually use the piano mainly to write my songs, and then I'll give it all to my producer, and she's the one that makes the magic. I could do a little production, but I'm always like, I'll make a very rough demo, and then I'll give
Okay.
it off to someone to finesse. But I also played the flute all of elementary school and middle school. So I haven't played it since, but I can whip it out sometimes.
Yeah.
I love that. You know what? That's like one of my favorite things about Lizzo.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she's so good at it. And
Insane.
and it is insane like how good she is at it. And I'm like, wow, she really is perfecting this other craft while she's doing her other pieces of her music and she incorporates that. So I think that's really powerful. If you have
Yeah.
like an instrument that you cherish like that you can incorporate in all of your
Yeah.
music.
I'm a sucker for like someone who's classically trained in an instrument. I'm always like, oh, wow. Because
Yeah.
that takes time, that takes
Yes.
dedication, like it's a lot. So,
Yeah.
Yes, it
I've
is.
been really pushing myself because I've been watching these kids that are like shredding it on the guitar and they're like 6 years old. And I'm like, you gotta step my game up. And I've been practicing every night.
yeah. So do you play any other instruments or the guitar and
I play the guitar. I play a little keyboard,
I'm
but
learning.
Amanda's learning, and she makes beats. She makes some
oh,
fire beats.
sick. Okay, I
Yeah,
love
Lily's got
that.
her little thing, so we're doing it step by step. But you know, we're the mixtape queens, so we got a lot going on.
Yeah, you're busy,
So
but
yeah,
A lot's not the word.
we're busy building an empire.
Building an empire.
But it's so important. We have to set a time, you know, set apart time to do our music because it's like if we don't work on it, we don't feel it's like getting, you know, eating healthy and like getting exercise, like it helps us so much.
Yeah.
Just like think clear
Mhm.
yeah.
and it's like our therapy, you know?
That's true.
No,
Yeah.
100%. It's
Yeah,
like
it's like going to the gym for your soul, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And so and like our painting and stuff. So
Oh yeah.
we're working on some
wow.
stuff.
You guys are talented.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Damn. I
I'm
see the
getting
good
used to
things.
I'm getting used to hearing people say that. Y'all are talented. I'm like, oh, thanks.
And you go, yes, I am.
I'm getting
Thank
used to
you.
it.
Yeah.
But yes, okay, so oh, I have so many questions. Okay, well, I have to ask this. What do you feel like was one of your most challenging songs that you had to create?
Ooh, wow. That's a really good question. I don't think I've ever been asked that before. Um, My brain is going to two different tracks, like immediately. One of them is my track, Come Back, because it was about like losing a friendship. And I mean, I actually wrote that song in like one sitting on my bed, like one night, and then I was like, I have to get this produced, and I just like knew it. Um, but yeah, like recording it and making the song and everything like that was a little odd for me. Um, because at the time I was not friends with that person, but then we became friends when I was putting it out. So it's like a very weird paradoxical thing that was happening, and like we were like best friends again during my whole rollout of the song. So like the whole song was just like very odd for me and difficult. And I actually put voice memos. So in that song, in the production, I took actual videos of when I was with this person, like we like traveled the world and like did all these things together. So I took all
Mm.
these things and like put them in the song. So when you listen, you'll like hear it in the background. And that was my first time ever doing that too. And I was kind of like afraid to like really do that, but I don't know, I did it. And uh yeah, it was probably a hard song for me to make, but it's probably one of my like rawest. So um and then the other one is Everyone Else, which is like a deep cut. I don't know. I have like songs that are like I have a lot of songs out. That one is just it was about when I was like so depressed and like felt like I was never gonna find love, and all my friends had love and I was like I'm never gonna find it. And I wrote that song really quickly as well, but I actually produced that song like majoritively myself for a course I was taking. So it's my one track on that's of my discography that I have a production credit on. So that was a really hard song to make in general, just like that whole process.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, I can't wait to hear those because we're gonna listen to all your stuff.
Yeah, I'm like blown away right now because that is it is kind of confusing that little moment you had there when you weren't friends and then you were friends and then how did that roll out with your friendship? Like did they like the song once they heard it?
Yeah, they actually knew. So so I have a Finsta, and which a lot of people have Finstas. Anyway, I posted the song on my Finsta like the night I wrote it, and they were still following me. And literally, no joke, like 2 days later, they texted me and were like, by the way, like, I love that song you posted. Like, I know it's about me, but like, I love it. And I was like, okay. Like, so it's so weird. Like they knew right away it was about them. Which it's pretty obvious if like you knew our friendship. But um, yeah, it was they loved the song, and it kind of in a way actually brought like our friendship back a little bit. So it's a weird, yeah, it was a weird journey with that song, but I love it. So
It's cool because it's like a lot of times when we have falling out with our friends, it's over communication.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're
Mm-hmm.
able to communicate how you feel through the song, it might be hard to say it face to face to them
Yeah.
when,
yeah.
especially if you're upset or something happened. So that's pretty cool. I think maybe if we, instead of arguing with our friends or family, we just
make
wrote
music.
songs about it. I think we'd get along better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd
And
be
then
cool.
like obviously if you write a song about someone, you really care about them. So or yeah, you really do care about them. Even if it's like a breakup, like I hate
Yeah.
you song, you cared about that person.
A lot.
Yeah.
For sure.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So what do you have in store for yourself and your music? What is coming up next?
Yeah. So okay, so I'm closing out this year with a lot of shows, which is awesome. I'm actually doing a show in LA, my birthday show on November 19th. I'll be announcing it later this week. And I'm headlining the Moroccan Lounge, so I'm like so excited. Um, and then I've been teasing my song Love My Body a lot on my socials and everywhere. And I'm going to be dropping that at the top of the new year. So I'm very, very excited about that one. And
Ooh.
yeah, I'm going to be shooting a video for that one. So I'm excited about that. It's coming up really soon, that shoot. And then just more music in the new year. I have been building to a sophomore EP. So I've been really trying to like perfect it and craft this EP. So I'm saying now it will be out next year. I don't know when next year, but it will be out. Yeah.
Yay.
Okay. I'm excited.
Yes.
Let me hear sneak peek. No.
We're gonna
I always want to hear the sneak peek so I can be like, ooh, I heard it first.
Yes.
Yeah. If you
I
ever do
will.
like a virtual listening party, invite me.
I
Invite us.
will.
We'll be there.
Yeah, I probably definitely will because I feel like this EP is gonna be like a really big stepping stone for me. Because my debut EP went out in 2021, so I've just been like kind of waiting to like really figure out what I want this to be. So I know when it comes out, it's gonna be magical and exactly what I envisioned. So we will do a listening party. We'll do everything. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. So there's so much going on. We just want to send you a lot of love and positive creative energy for you. And we want everybody to follow you and listen to your music. Apple Music, Spotify in the description below.
Everything.
And you're also on Instagram, TikTok, right?
Yes. Yeah. I'm on probably like anything you have. So
right. We'll have all of your links for everybody. We want everybody to listen to you and check you out and send you a message. So yeah. So I guess I'll ask the last question.
Yeah, because I mean we like switch.
Okay, so this question we ask everybody because we have a lot of artists that listen to the podcast and follow our platform. And a lot of artists out there are struggling. They need help. You know, they want to be on your level. They see you doing big things. You know, they see you writing songs and being your authentic self. What kind of advice can you give for those people out there?
Yeah. So exactly what you said, bouncing off of the authentic self thing, is that if you want to do this and you know this is your passion and you have a goal in mind and you love this so much, like you have to fight for it. And you're going to be in a lot of situations that are not going to be good for you, unfortunately. And you have to enter those situations and learn from each and every one until you find the right people, the right place, the right everything, and it'll all come together when it's supposed to. Because even me, like 3 years ago, like versus now, I've learned so much, and I've like not given up. Even though a few years ago wanted to give up, and I'm like so glad that I've kept going. And I've learned to like stand up for myself, and I've learned to be a businesswoman. I mean, you're an independent artist, you're running your own business. So you just really gotta give yourself the grace and the time to learn and grow. And if you are in spaces where you feel like your authenticity is not being listened to, it's not being respected, turn and walk the other way until you find the right rooms and the right people. Because I would sometimes stay in those places and like fight, like, oh no, like, yeah. But like, no, if it's not right, if your gut's telling you no, get out, find the better thing. There's always something better. There's always something that's right. And if something's not working out, know that there's a reason. There is such a reason. And I think that was like, the universe has a plan, and it might seem like everything's the end of the world in that moment, but like, I promise a week later, you're going to be like, oh my God, thank God that happened. And that I'm here now. Like, so those are my lessons that I've learned so far in my journey.
Yes, Queen.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, really that's very helpful.
Yeah.
Of course.
Thank you for taking the time to be with us today, to share your energy, to share your advice, and a little bit about yourself. Now we know you better. You know, you
Thank
have our
you.
full support, 100,000,000%.
Yes.
Thank
And
you.
we're excited to see where this is taking you because
Yes.
it's taking you somewhere powerful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm honored and to be in the presence of two queens. Love it.
Thank you. Yes,
Yes.
Queen. So we hope that you have a beautiful and blessed rest of your week. Make sure you keep going hard, keep doing your thing, keep being beautiful inside and out. And
Thank
we're
you.
really hoping that everybody that listens to the podcast gets to know you a little better and loves you the way that we do.
Yeah.
And just show up, show support, show out.
Yeah. We want the whole world to hear your music.
Absolutely.
Thank you so, so much. That is like the sweetest thing ever. And thank you for having me, truly. Thank you.
Of course, Queen. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
All right.
Peace.
Bye.